Thanks for joining me here on Exhausting Life. I want to spend some time today going over the frequent comments I get and try to categorize a few of those and answer some of those questions. The first one of those that I get, and probably the most common, is how do I judge what skill level is required for a do-it-yourself type project? And oftentimes this means doing a little bit of research, and the first thing I would recommend is using videos like mine and many of the other YouTubers out there that kind of show you what's involved and take a reasonable assessment of can you do those things that they show, but also download an instruction guide. Those things are available in just about every part that's out there, and most manufacturers do a fairly good job in estimating the tools you need and at least the time frame. Sometimes they even go to the extent of saying what kind of skill level that you might need, so don't forget you have that tool out there. Now, if you're going to try to do something yourself, which I highly encourage, it's just going to help you be a better person in putting together more parts for your build if that's the plan you want to go down. But it also helps in the case of like off-roading in this particular market that I like to participate in, giving you another tool in the chest so when you're out in the field and you have a problem, you know how to respond to it, and you may even be able to fix it while you're out there. But ultimately, there are a few things too that might just say, hey, I need some help in finding the right person to do it for me. There's absolutely tons of professionals out there, and that's something that we do encourage as well. If you just know that it's a skill that you don't have, or you don't have the ability, being that you don't have the garage or tools, or potentially you're working out of a carport, you live in an apartment, and you just can't leave it outside overnight, those are all reasons why you might want to engage with a dealer or a shop that's got some good recommendations. And that's definitely what I think you need to rely upon the community for, is referring you to the right people that might have some good experience. In particular, I got a lot of questions when doing the Bison build, and specifically coming up with the new Jeep build on what to do about putting on a lot of the parts I have that were just a little bit above their skill level. In particular case with AEV products, the nice thing is both my builds were AEV products. There is an authorized dealer network out there of actual shops that do the full upfits that can show you exactly the right things to do, get you the right parts, but more importantly, they make the services available so you can drop off the keys, set down a check, and get the right result. And today I want to go back. I found an old video I had when I first started doing some of the modifications for my Jeep, and I did need some help, and that was mainly getting the alignment done after I was done doing the install. So take a watch here. This is going to be some interactions I had with one of the local authorized dealers for AEV, and that's Adventure Off-Road. Hey, it's Rich, and today I'm out here in beautiful Huntington Beach, California at Adventure Off-Road with friend Mike Rice. We've kind of known each other through many different positions and many places throughout this industry.
Long time.
And today, though, I'm here working on my Project Dual Sport Daily, which is a JL370 clone. And the reason why I'm here is because Adventure Off-Road is not only known for being able to upfit vehicles in general, but you guys are an AEV certified dealer, which means you can give me a little more help than the average guy.
Correct. So not everybody just gets to become an AEV dealer.
Right.
AEV is very vetting of who they allow to be dealers. So not only am I a parts dealer, but I'm also an upfit vehicle sales dealer. So I can take a brand new Jeep straight from the factory or a Ram truck, send it to AEV, have it built, have it show up here brand new, you take delivery of it. However, since I know you're a tinkerer and you like to do stuff on your own. So for everybody else like you and I, parts availability.
Right.
So AEV has all the parts you need to build something like this. So this truck, obviously we're here about your JL. Mm-hmm. This just happens to be in the shop. This came in here as a bone stock ZR2 from Chevy's showroom floor. Mm-hmm. We were able to add all the parts from AEV's catalog. In this case, this one got a lot. Snorkel, 35-inch Highline flares, Bison front bumper, skid plates, Crestone wheels, pretty much everything AEV makes, I can order, get, and install. My technicians are trained by AEV. I have them at my phone call away if I have questions about instructions, any sort of a warranty issue. They'll warranty a part at any dealer, AEV authorized dealer all across the country. So if you have your lift kit installed here and you live in Texas, the local dealer in Texas, should you ever have an issue, can take care of it. So there's a lot of pluses to the brand, and AEV is one of those companies that I think their philosophy is, that I've always told people, is if the factory engineers had a little more leeway in budget and could do cool stuff, this is what they would do.
Right. The fine tuning is really what AEV parts, to me, was my attraction to them. And obviously, this truck holds a kind of dear place in my heart. I
Right.
saw this in the back. I'm like, yeah, we better go film in front of it. If you guys tune into the channel, I did have a 21 ZR2 Bison that I did do the complete upfit in. And this is just about the same build, down to even having a supercharger. So I'm out here filming in front of this for some personal reasons, but it does show the diversity and, of course, the education and training level and really the experience that a certified AEV dealer can have and offer. And that's probably one of the biggest things. I do a lot of this stuff as DIY in front of the camera. And in many times I find out that when I do things such as my fender flare piece, people go, oh, it's fender flares, I should be able to do it myself. They watch the video and go, oh yes, I can pay $3,000 to have somebody else do that. But also it's the idea that your guys have had the repetitive experience in knowing how to get to the end, because I went through the discovery of figuring out how to read the instructions and do it myself, and that's not always what everybody wants to do. There are some things that bolt on that are just DIY that you can grab and AEV sells. Snorkel's probably one of those things I would say is on the edge of that. There's a little bit of fender cutting, but for the most part, it's a straightforward bolt in. But the fender flares, I mean, I spent 6 hours working on just the front set myself, so it's not for everybody.
No, and obviously us as people, we get better through repetition. So the more times you do it, the better you get at it. My guys, we've been involved with AEV for a number of years now. So there's nothing that they do at AEV Upfit that we can't necessarily do here.
And that's one of the things I have to say is the reason why I'm here today is there's something I can't do, which is get it on an alignment rack. I did do the geometry relocation brackets in the front. Amazing difference. I'm going to go into the details once I get the alignment done. Full spring kit, got the XP8100 Bilsteins on there.
Those are a great shock, aren't they?
Oh my goodness. I've driven and ridden in JKs, JLs, JTs with the number of different products, and you can really tell that AEV worked with Bilstein in the calibration, because those triple rate springs combined with the compression and valving that they did with that shock setup, they work really well.
It works really well.
So I need you to help me out. I got to get my steering wheel straight. I feel like it's wandering a little bit, toes a little bit off. So
I know you got a lot of tools. You don't have an alignment machine?
No, not yet.
Well, I got you.
All right, so
cool.
We'll get that on the rack. I'll show you guys what the specs are afterwards. And thanks again, Mike.
Yeah,
it's always
absolutely.
good seeing you here.
We'll catch it up.
And we'll talk to you soon. So that was my trip to Adventure Off-Road when I just did my 2.5-inch lift and the geometry relocation brackets from AEV. And one of the reasons why I went there particularly is they're an authorized dealer. Anytime you can pair off a manufacturer that's making parts with a authorized dealership that knows the parts, it just makes the installation, in this case the alignment, that much easier. Sort of speaking to suspension parts, it's always a good idea if you're going to do the installation yourself and you're going to get it to a place to do an alignment, that you take along with you as much information as you can. Oftentimes, the instruction books that you download will have specifications not only to get the things installed, but a guideline for what the proper alignment would be to get the most performance for the part. So if you're going to go to a generic alignment shop, it's always good to bring as much information as you have with you. But if you can, try to find that one place that's done something similar that you've got as a recommendation. And that's still probably the best advice I can get, is when you're talking about going to a shop and trusting somebody with not only your vehicle but your money, get that recommendation from someone that you can find that's a reputable source. And again, trust the community that we're in, ask a lot of questions. It doesn't hurt to do that. So that's my advice for the day. Take a look around, enjoy your vehicle, and if I don't see you here, I hope to see you on the trail.